So I was 18 years old when I made my first $1 million.
How'd it feel?
It felt pretty great.
Cryptocurrency. Damn, that's a rabbit hole I never wanted to go down, and I probably never will. However, when you see news reports of people making sick amounts of money by gambling early on in this field, it's hard to not get excited. And of course, when news stories like this drop, you can be damn sure that insane amounts of scammers are going to be jumping on board in order to not only make a quick buck for themselves, but more importantly, take money from you. Heck, even Atari are jumping in the deep end with their own currency called the Atari coin, which you can use to buy the crowdfunded Atari VCS, although in this instance, it would actually be less disappointing if they ran away with your money. Burn. I told you guys not to buy the Atari VCS. Pretty horrible, isn't it? Anyway.
I wanna take you for a ride.
When it comes down to crypto scamming, what better way to do that very thing than on crowdfunding sites such as Kickstarter, IndieGoGo, and GoFundMe? Oh yes, it's Kick Scammer time. Once again, guys, the show where I look at the absolute worst Kick Scammers, the scammy IndieGoGos, and the downright nasty GoFundMes ever to exist. Because you don't have to look too far before you see how connected these two worlds are. As an example, the previously mentioned terrible IndieGoGo iBackback campaign was actually under investigation due to the campaign owner using the backers' funds to buy, you guessed it, Bitcoin. Or what about the website Bitcoin Starter, which was yet again another Kickstarter-like clone. However, every single project was of course based around cryptocurrency, or was fundable by using crypto monies. Now, obviously this website no longer exists, and from what I can tell, nothing ever actually got funded, besides at least one project that I did find that was for a cam girl to get herself a new HD webcam. That one, by all accounts, actually went well past its funding goal. It did very, very well. I wonder what rewards she offered.
I wanna take you for a ride.
Haha, strap yourself in, guys, and make sure you back the Jesus Loves Bitcoin bumper sticker, because everything I've just mentioned is seriously small fry compared to what I have in store for you today. In this Kickstarter's cryptocurrency scams. Welcome to Slope's Game Room.
There is no spoon.
Oh yes there is. You're lying. It's a magic spoon. Oh yes, magic spoon are the sponsor of this video. Remember the good old days when you would chow down on endless amounts of sugar-heavy cereals? Haha, the good old days. Yes, the good old days. If you're still doing it, stop. This stuff is terrible for you, meaning that basically you have to live your adult life eating cereal that tastes like card. Well, well, get over yourself.
Are you ready?
Well, get over yourself and go and check out the link down below. Type in the code SLOPE at the checkout to get $5 off at Magic Spoon. This is what Magic Spoon has to offer. This is as good as the real thing taste-wise, but more importantly, it's better for you. 0 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carb in each serving, which is also only 140 calories. Personally, for me, you're not going to beat the good old frosty flavour, but they have also sent me fruity, cocoa, and for the first time in my British life, I just tried peanut butter flavoured cereal. You Americans are so lucky. By the way, go get that variety pack and do this. We here in the UK never had this. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong down below. I do remember us having cookies and cream and cinnamon, but blueberry and maple waffle. Regardless, none of this matters now because Magic Spoon offers all of these awesome flavoured cereals that taste as good as you remembered, and not only do they ship to America, but now also Canada and the UK. Don't hang about, click that link, help the channel grow, get yourself $5 off by using the code SLOPE at the checkout, and enjoy some super tasty and super nutritious, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free and low-carb Magic Spoon cereal. And finally, please let the fourth film be good. Let's start off with something for the crypto connoisseur among us. When you've made your money and then some, what else is there to buy? What do you get the guy that already has everything? What do you get the high-flying crypto god to help him never forget where he came from? Why, the Bitcoin watch, of course. No, I'm not talking about the watch that converts your steps into reward coins. Yeah, alright. I'm talking about the limited edition Bitcoin watch.
Welcome to the Bitcoin Watch Limited Edition Kickstarter campaign. A watch not for Bitcoin enthusiasts only. Bitcoin watch timepieces come with stainless steel cases. Designed for high strength but nevertheless very low weight. That is to make sure that our timepieces will fit comfortably on small or large wrists. Quartz or automatic movements from Switzerland complete this beautiful watches, and you may believe it or not, we are so confident in the quality of our timepieces that we decided to give them out with a lifetime warranty. Diameter 40mm steel.
Yep, this is the actual campaign video, a campaign video that somehow managed to pull in 26 backers, which of course isn't a lot, and CHF 18,176? What even is that currency? What? £14,000? How the hell did this fool anyone? Come on, I'm sorry if you were one of the 26 that were fooled by this, but this was so obvious. A video knocked up in 30 minutes tops using a text-to-speech voiceover by a campaign owner that has never backed another campaign and doesn't have social media accounts attached to his profile either. No frequently asked questions, every single picture of the watch's lever is exactly the same as all of the others, which of course proves it is nothing more than a quick Photoshop effort, and of course these never got shipped out because they do not exist. Now, when this sort of thing happens, you know, no updates to backers and nothing ever getting shipped, you know, all of that typical good scammy stuff, Kickstarter themselves do what they can to fight back. As an example, in this instance, Michael Brucker, who probably doesn't even exist, and again has no social media accounts attached to the profile, well, he or she will be getting themselves a vigorously worded email reminder to update the backers. And you guessed it, considering that his or her website no longer exists, it's pretty safe to assume that this email doesn't exist either, resulting in Kickstarter getting bounce back after bounce back after bounce back. $20,000, guys. Not bad for half a day's work, am I right? Now, here's something I've never mentioned before on the show. Launch Backer. Similar to Kickstarter and IndieGoGo, it's obviously a crowdfunding site that has fuel pay on it with over 200 days left to go, asking for 5,000 euros and gaining over 22,000 euros. Damn. So what is it?
Introducing Fuel Pay, the world's first and only free fuel generating device. Fuel Pay is a cutting-edge device which uses complex mathematical models and innovative blockchain technology to convert your vehicle's excess energy into cash. Fuel Pay generates free fuel for any vehicle, whether it runs on gas, diesel, or electricity. Fuel Pay works by using the excess energy produced by your car to validate cryptocurrency transactions in return for a reward. Simply plug the Fuel Pay device into your cigarette socket, connect it to a smartphone via Bluetooth, and that's it. For every mile you travel, your fuel costs will then be covered by automatic payments made to your account. The money you make is accessed through your Fuel Pay account as cash, not cryptocurrency, meaning you can use this to pay for fuel or whatever you like with your Fuel Pay Visa debit card. So whether you choose to get rid of your daily travel costs or treat yourself to something new. It doesn't matter. We've got you covered.
Right, okay, so free fuel using nothing but the power of your car. Now originally this campaign actually started its life on IndieGoGo, asking for $5,000 and getting a big fat 0. Thankfully, in this instance, as soon as the campaign was put online, IndieGoGo put it under review and it was never able to grab any of its money. For those that haven't pieced this together themselves, this simply would just never work. The reason massive high-end graphics cards are going for silly money right now is because people want them for crypto mining, and sadly your little car isn't going to be pulling in what these beast machines can do, and thankfully IndieGoGo instantly saw this, which brings us back to launch backup. Yep, this campaign's second attempt at life. Turns out when digging around, FuelPay just so happens to be the only campaign on this website, and yes, that's because FuelPay own this website, and the ticker just keeps going round and round and round. Honestly, this figure might be fake, but at the same time, considering people who were fooled by this on IndieGoGo before it was taken down, who can be found in the comments section kicking off that they were never able to put money down on this fake product, it could actually be a real amount earned by this company. Heck, I signed up myself using fake credentials, of course, and the ability to pay via bank transfer or directly with a credit card was actually available. All for this, a little white box that does have a cigarette connector for power, what I can only assume is yet another hole for another power socket, and an Ethernet cable slot too, for your car. And just when you think it can't possibly get any scammier than this, here is something that looks incredibly similar. However, this picture was actually taken from AliExpress and just so happens to be a Freeview box for your HD TV. Yeah. Nothing fishy about this, guys. Nothing fishy at all. You can see why they wasn't exactly transparent from the get-go, can't you? You get it? Transparent? Guys, look at the bloody box. It's see-through. I'm taking a piss out of these idiots, guys. Whatever. Moving on. Apparently one of the biggest issues with games such as Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering when playing online is that you don't actually own the cards that you buy. Sure, you think you do. You buy a pack of digital cards online hoping to get the one you want. Whether you do or don't, it doesn't matter, because unlike real world Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or even just physical standard cards, you don't physically own these digital cards. What I mean by this is that you can't open a super rare shiny and sell it for bucket loads on eBay or swap it with your friends on your lunch break for whatever you fancy in their packed lunchbox, because it's simply a digital image. Well, never fear, because Zombie Battleground is here, a game where you literally own the cards that you buy as NFTs forever on the blockchain and can therefore trade them directly with other players on a massive P2P marketplace for real crypto money. It was a Kickstarter that needed $250,000 and it gained $321,606 from 1,693 backers. For someone like me that has never actually dabbled in any kind of crypto, blockchain, NFT type stuffs, if I was more of a fan of digital card collecting, I would have actually been the perfect candidate for a campaign like this. Being able to quickly see what my cards are worth, the value history of those items, and a quick and easy way to swap or sell them, it just seems perfect. The campaign was expecting to get released in May of 2019, and even though it did get a name change to Relentless, it did get released, and for the most part, people seem to quite like it, even getting a small dedicated group of followers to create their own Discord and Facebook groups based around this one game. And then, it all went away. Sure, people were still playing the game and the developers working on it at Loom were still teasing upcoming updates, something that a game like this desperately needs, but those updates either never came or were completely bare bones. The original trio that launched the campaigns were pushing themselves further and further away from the fans, even shouting out against them when those fans reached out. And then surprisingly in October of 2019, update number 66 showcased a surprising addition to the almost dead game. And that was that the game was now going to be open source. And then once again, it all went silent. That was until September of 2020 when Delanka, one of the marketing collaborators of the project, spoke out about what exactly had happened. Yep, that's his website. Turns out that the three dudes seen in the trailer were not as interested about this game as they led on. Turns out, after attending the 2019 Pocket Gamer Connects convention, they sat in on a talk that went into detail about how the future of blockchain gaming was at an end. There was no future in this field according to whatever speaker they was listening to, and in retaliation the trio decided to go back to their offices and fire everybody involved, including Delanka, and simply stop all communication to the backers. Stupidly, in the process of firing everybody, one thing they didn't do was revoke the access of those fired employees on Kickstarter, which is how we found out about everything with the update, "This project is dead." The post goes into detail about how the entire fire team were forced to not let anybody know that the game had stopped development. When these developers would try to convince the top dogs to not let the public know, some of which were still addicted to this game, the response was always going to be no. What made matters worse was that the game was supposed to include easy-to-use NFT-like card collecting, again for simpletons like myself that didn't have much of a grasp on all things crypto. Well, sadly, it didn't. People can just fork base chain if they want, was the normal terribly angry response that the management would give people like Delanka. And I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't know how to fork something if it forked me in the eye.
I don't know.
This wasn't the end result that people had paid serious good money for. It was a get-rich-quick scheme, and even though for the hardcore amount of backers, it wasn't about the gameplay that, with every single update, actually ended up being eerily similar to Hearthstone, but obviously not as good, it was more about the unique way of playing with real collectible NFTs, a feature that simply was just never fully integrated properly, and therefore goes against everything that those campaigners were promising from the get-go. In short, it was a game that was dropped by its money-hungry managers at the drop of a hat with absolutely no explanation ever given by them after they saw that the world of crypto was apparently in a bit of a slump and listened to some random dude's predictions at a mobile gaming convention. That was until Delanka went ahead and posted everything that went wrong with this project, making sure to add backups of this post, expecting it to be taken down within minutes. However, a year later, it still sits front and center as the latest update for the game that quite a few individuals sunk some serious money into. 4 backers even dropped $10,000 each for this. And by the way guys, think about it, the game has technically come out, so these campaign owners do not need to give anybody a refund. This whole reveal just shows everybody just how terribly unorganized and uncaring these individuals running this campaign truly are. 3 individuals that apparently now create applications for the healthcare sector. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Hey there guys, thank you all for checking out the video. Of course, if any of you guys want to be able to support the show, you can do so by checking those links down below, and you'll be able to see the next several Kick Scammer episodes right now. So yeah, there you go. But just like these awesome people did. Aaron Gorman, Aggro Crag, Andrew Dalton, Arista, Benjamin Guy, Big Rico, Bram Perez, Cheshire One, Chris the Shapeshifter, Christopher DeVero, Clan Bob, Conrad Constantine, to Action Saxon, Dalton, aka Chevmatic, Daniel Tavares, Darren Watson, Dina81, Digsy B, Game Apologist, Gary Pinkett, Intrigued Gaming, Jay is Manchild, Jabba Al Aiden, James, Jeff Mianowski, Jeremy Rodriguez, Josh Gibbons, King Link Reviews, Lucas Gates, Lucas Softail, Man of God 9000, Man Shovel, Matt Jackson, Michael Ridley Dash, Mike Fallon, Mind of the Unsane, Nicholas Bertner, Nick Pollard, Over Jarl Zane, Pretendo 64, Roll VP, Retro to Next Gen aka Lou, Richard Aldergic, Rocket Plod, Roven Army, Ryan Holt, Samuel Nilsson, Shade Silent, Shadow Dragon, Solix Captor, Stephen, Taylor Rainwater, That Gamer, The Cunning Linguist, Tim Labonte, Tim Lund, Todd Paul Float G, Vike Echo, Wobbles and Bean, The Wonder Ducks, and Ye Old Hamburglar. Thank you all so much for supporting the show. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you. It allows me to be able to put out content like this. You're my safety net, so thank you so much. Like I say, you want to see those next several episodes before they go public? Then go and sign up too. But until next time, guys, this is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.